Hey guys, welcome back to Just Carve Rob. And we are carving. What are we going to carve? We're going to carve a little hairy leprechaun. Harry Terry the leprechaun. No eyes, just a nose and a hat, a beard, and some feet. This is 3 inches long, inch and a quarter dowel rod. We put our center lines in all the way around. Didn't do it on the bottom. This is going to be his feet. This is all going to be hair and a nose. He's going to be like the gnomes that we carved, with no eyes, like this guy. Probably not, won't have this detail. This was a little bit bigger block of wood. So let's go ahead and carve Harry Terry the leprechaun. All right? All right. Let me get the noisy stuff fired up, and then we'll do the dreaded voiceover. All right, guys, here we go. We got the Dremel 4000 with the pointy saber-tooth burr. Pointy saber-tooth burr, elongated flame burr. And we are using 1.25 inch diameter popple dowel rod from Menards. And it is 3 inches long. 3 inches long. And we're going to start off with the hat. We're not doing nothing fancy with the hat. We're not tilting it back. We're just going to leave it straight up. We're going to make it like that leprechaun stovepipe hat that they always wear. Popped out a little bit at the top, a little bit skinny at the bottom. And we'll put the hat band with the buckle on it. Do a little round over. There'll be a lot of shaping being done to this hat. Lots of shaping. And you can see we're going to leave that brim fairly wide because I'm not going to do just the flat hat. We're going to bow it up on the sides a little bit. We're going to give a little curve going on there as we get it all cut into place. And remember, whatever you take the top of your hat down, you want to take the forehead and back of the head down too. So it looks like the hat is fitting on the head, so the head is fitting up into the hat, not that the hat is sitting directly on top of the head, So there we are. We're starting to cut the nose in. Just getting a rough spot for it. And this guy won't have no eyes. He's just going to be a hairy little leprechaun cousin knit type guy. Get that nose shaped in there. And feather it back along the sides. I was thinking about putting ears on them, but when I cut the hat in, I would have had to skip a spot to leave an ear. So I kind of messed up, but I guess he won't have ears. So now we're cutting in where the feet are going to be. We come in 3/8 of an inch up from the bottom. Give them some little feet. And you can see we'll be cutting them sides down even more than what we are there. And getting that all worked in. Keep looking at the bottom. Make sure we got them kind of even. We don't got one foot way out from the other foot. And we're going to, there we are, still cutting that down a little bit. Going back around the back side of the head with the Kutzall burr. Or saber-tooth burr. Come on, Rob, get your burrs right. This is why I like using, on these little guys, I like using the elongated burr. Because it comes down to a nice sharp point. Okay, now we're going to draw in where the beard's going to be. Get that drawn in. And then we'll run down each side of that. And this is the Kutzall coarse. Kutzall silver burr coarse. And we're kind of doing we're going to trace that in with the Kutzall silver coarse taper burr. This is the coarse silver taper burr. Okay? And you can see it works pretty good on this poplar. And we'll get that beard shaped up a little bit. and run it down along the bottom there by the feet. Want to round that beard over. We want the beard to round over just above the shoes. Now we have the Dremel micromotor with a 3/32 shank carbide burr. 3/32 shank carbide burr. And now we're going back to the cuts, the saber-tooth burr to feather that away from the mustache and get it cut in. Found another new wood carving channel for you guys to look at. It's called Summer Rest Whittling. SOMEREST. Whittling. Fairly new carver, but boy, is that guy talented. Yeah. Been carving some great stuff. Carved Batman and Angry Bird, and I'm gonna have to carve one of those Angry Birds. Okay, now you can see I'm using the fatter part of that bird to cut the, I don't know what you'd call it, bend into the hat, I guess would be called the bend. The guy's name is Ben, that has that YouTube channel, Somerset or Summer Rest. Yep. And let's not forget about Dan Carpio, Caripo, is doing some stuff over there, doing some whittling. Ben at Somerset is, I keep saying Somerset, I'm pretty sure it's Summer Rest. He's a knife whittler too. If you guys are interested, anybody that's interested in whittling. And check out Gene Messer. Gene Messer, he just posted about all these new carvers. I've actually found Ben before Gene said anything about it. I just was scrolling through YouTube. But if you're a knife carver and you want to see some different, some really good carvers, go over and check out Gene Messer's. I guess that'd be a recommendation of carvers to watch. I'm guessing that's what it would be. So yeah, yep. Go check out Gene, the godfather of flat planes carving, right there, Gene Messer. And we gotta say hi to Jordy over at Carving Fusion, and Ben over there at Studio on the Lake. You can see we're putting a little cup. We're cupping in the top of the hat a little bit. Yeah, we're not going to make it just flat. We got to get rid of the saw marks from up there. So we're going to put a little cup. We're going to cup it in a little bit at the top. You can see how this guy's coming out. He's coming along. Now we're drawing in the band, where the band is going to be on his hat. Shop inspector's over there snoring. Okay, now we have an inverted diamond cone burr. And we're going to go around. We're going to use this to trace around the. I had to bring it out a little bit because it's hitting on top of the hat. We're going to use this to cut in the hat band, basically. You can see right there, cutting that in. And we'll do the same thing around the top of it, just like that. You see, we're using it to cut around the top. And there we're putting the buckle in. The buckle for the hat. And I should have paid more attention here. It's a little off center, but hey, who cares? It's just a tiny little gnome. He's only 3 inches tall. Tiny little, yeah, not gnome. He's a leprechaun. He's a leprechaun. I know I'm late. St. Patrick's Day is already past, Rob. Well, I've never been on time, I guess. But I did one. Here's my little leprechaun. I was thinking about BAP over there that I Can Carve in Ireland, and I'm like, we need to make a leprechaun. Okay, so we have put a diamond ball burr in there. It's the bigger one, the bigger diamond ball burr. Spear. And we're just using that to smooth out the rim on the hat. Okay. And now we are going with a diamond flame burr, because we got to feather back the hat around the rim, or around the band, I'm sorry. Around the band, feather it down so the band sits just a little proud of the hat itself, right? And that's what we're doing there. And then we'll sand the band itself a little bit, because with all that carving, the band was a little distorted. So we'll go back and we'll sand that burr, that band, to make it a little flatter, and get in there. And sand. A lot of sanding, guys. A lot of sanding. Well, with the Diamond Birds, it's sanding and carving. Say hello to Jordy Johnson over there at Carving Fusion. Busiest man I know when it comes to wood carving, Jordy Johnson. He's having a wood spirit palooza over there. He's carving big wood spirits, big logs. Man, I wish I had access to cedar logs like that. Even pine logs. I really around here, I don't got any pine logs that big. Where I live used to be the Hackley logging industry. And so they've gone through every place around here and cut down all the old growth pine. So any pine trees that are around here are within the last 100 years, you know. Okay, now I was in a quandary here whether I should make that his collar or his hair. So I decided, well, we give him some hair. So I turned it into hair. It wasn't going to be like a flipped up collar on one of them old cloak type things that they used to wear. But I decided to make his hair. And we'll just give him a little jacket. Okay, so now we're back to that little carbide burr, 3/32 shank, and we're undercutting everything. Give it shadow. We're going to go back and undercut everything. See, we're undercutting the hat, and I'm feathering it back into the hair a little bit. And now we need to get rid of some bulk wood. So we went back with the Dremel 4000 and that saber-tooth burr. Cutting that back and shaping it up. And then we'll cut in where his arms are going to be. Let's say hi to Ben over at Studio on the Lake. And we'll say hi to Claire and Lou Ann Tucker and Dan and Mark DeMaker and Mark Decker. A lot of good guys out there. Check out Carving Fusion World of Wood Carvers on Facebook. A lot of good talented carvers there. Good group. And you can see that I cut his elbow in there. And we're rounding over the arms. There we go, cutting that in. Getting that hand tucked underneath his beard. This is just like those little gnome guys we were doing, except he's got a top hat. And now we're doing the other arm. He's going to be a leprechaun. So he'll have a red beard and red hair. Okay. Getting them all shaped up. We're cutting down the back of his jacket so that his arms are poking out the back. I might get a little carried away there, I don't know. But he comes out looking okay. And you can see we're undercutting the beard. We're really making that beard pop out by bringing the feet back. Okay, we're changing out. Nope, I guess I decided to stay with that carbide burr. Now we're doing undercutting the jacket, cutting behind the beard, and getting in there and cleaning those arms up. Make them stand a little prouder. like that. And we'll run over this with the ruby burr and get everything smoothed out and rounded over. I don't want his arms to have any flat spots. I'm working on the beard, undercutting the beard, splitting his feet, getting up underneath that jacket. A little tiny guy here. Doing a little cleanup. All that good stuff. Bringing the angle in the feet outward. And now we're doing some rounding over on the feet. Remember to check out Uncle Kevin and Brian Cook. Those guys. Chainsaw Carvers. And there we are rounding over the feet. And now we're going to sign it. And we're just going to put 22 on the bottom. Because there's really not enough room there to put the 2022. So we're just going to put 22. And now we're switching over to the ruby burr. This is a flame ruby burr. Or football ruby burr, whatever you want to call it. Get rid of all those cut marks from the cut saw burrs and the saber-tooth burrs. Get this guy cleaned up. I'm not going to do a lot of sanding on him because he's just a little fella. So whatever finish we end up with the ruby burr is what he's going to be. I'll clear coat him before I paint him. And the clear Mod Podge clear. I use Mod Podge for the clear coat on these guys to seal them. After the Mod Podge dries, we can come back with a little sandpaper if we want, and the Mod Podge will raise up any of the fibers that are hanging out. If you want them really, really smooth, you can come back with a little 220 grit paper in the flap sander and the Dremel, and just sand off some of the fuzz. Usually I don't have too big of a problem with that. You could always quick hit them with the torch too. And then take a good boot brush or a stiff brush and clean that up. Okay, so we got our aluminum cutting burr in there. And you guys have seen me do this many times before. We're using it to cut the hairs in. You can see I'm just doing some quick cuts and plunge cuts to give the hair different depths and thicknesses. This guy's so small, we're not going to worry about giving him a lip. And we'll undercut all that stuff. Now we're putting the hair on the back, his hair under his hat there. I think he came out pretty neat. Let me know, what do you guys think? Would you like to see me carve this guy in a bigger version? We could always get some bigger dowel rod. I think they sell it up to 2.5 inch there at Menards. We get a piece of 2.5 inch oak or poplar dowel rod and do a bigger one. Or I even got some basswood laying around here. We could do one in basswood. We still got some basswood that Ben over at Studio on the Lake sent us. We can always take a piece and cut it down and make a bigger one of these guys. What do you guys think? I'm sure you've seen enough gnomes to know how to do it. Enough of our Doug Linker calls them no-see-em gnomes. Okay, so share, subscribe, and like. Be awesome, guys. Carve something awesome. Get out there and carve every day if you can. And we will catch you guys on the next one. There he is. That's what he looks like. We'll put a picture in the thumbnail of them all done. All right? All right. Bye-bye, Spike.